Hey everybody out there, this is Seto Kaiba from your Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat channel, and today for you guys, I'm going to profile you my Gravekeeper deck. Gravekeepers are my favorite archetype and my favorite deck of all time. I love ancient history, I love history in general, and Gravekeepers, if you understand the correlation between, they kind of represent ancient Egypt and stuff of that nature. That's why I love them so much. But I've been playing Gravekeepers for over 10 years now, since they originally came out when I was a little kid, back in the Pharaonic Guard over 10 years ago. They were one of the oldest archetypes in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Gravekeepers are. And with the new support, they've been revamped, they're better now, and they're more funner to play with all the new cards we got. But I recently took this Gravekeeper deck about a week ago, before that snowstorm hit. If you guys know my channel, I was talking about that snowstorm. Right before it hit, I took this deck to my college tournament we had. And we had about 60 guys that showed up before the snowstorm hit. And first place got Exciton Knight. Second place got an Ultimate Rare Silent Arc Honors Knight. Third place got the Zane Cyber Dragon mat from Yu-Gi-Oh! Day. And fourth place got, I think, 6 or 8 packs of Legacy of the Valiant and like a Zane token. And I got second place. I got the Ultimate Rare 101 Silent Arc Honors Knight, which is my prize card I got from the tournament because I got second place. If you're wondering what deck I lost to, it's not a current meta deck, I guess you could say, but I lost to my friend's Exodia deck. He's the guy that actually wanted me to go, and I lost to his Exodia deck. Game 1, he won. Game 2, I used Mind Crush, and I won, so I actually have a side deck for you guys today. But Game 2, I won because I called the right piece of Exodia I knew he had in his hand. And Game 3, I couldn't get to Mind Crush in time, so he won that match. But without further ado, guys, we'll get started on this Gravekeeper deck profile, and I'll explain all my Gravekeeper choices. So let's get started. So guys, first off, we run our 3 Gravekeeper Spy. This is standard in any Gravekeeper build, really. It can help you make level 4s. You can get out your Descendant and pop. There's a whole bunch of different combinations Gravekeeper Spy does, if you guys know Gravekeepers. Next up, your 3 Commandants. I've seen people cut this down to, just 2 Commandants, but if you're going to be running like things like Tomb or Shrine, you definitely need your 3 Commandants to get to your Necro Valley. Definitely running 3 Commandants until that new ruling comes out for the, if it comes out in the TCG. Next up, your 3 Gravekeepers Recruiter. Standard. Some people say this card is too slow now, so they cut it down to 2, but honestly, overall, still run 3. It's a Witch of the Black Forest. It searches out all your Gravekeeper needs, and it's a very, very good card and useful card. Plus, you don't want to forget with Necro Valley out in the field, it's a 2000 defender. Next up, 2 Gravekeeper's Descendant. This card is used for popping. It can be used for attacking. You can flip up Spy, get Descendant out, normal summon a Recruiter, or flip up Spy, get a Recruiter out, normal summon a Descendant. There's just a whole bunch of different combinations with Descendant. Very good. Next up, 2 Gravekeeper's Assailant. This helped me out in my Bujin matchup because I knew he had Crane in hand, and I pretty much attacked him with Gravekeeper's Assailant, and he couldn't, use Crane in hand, so I changed it to defense position, and I ran over the Bujin Yamato. So this card helps kill Bujin Yamato, helps kill 6 Samurai Shien, but it just helps kill any annoying XYZ monsters out there that have high attack but low defense. This card is great against that, and that's why I won 2 of him. There would be some duels I went into both of them in the same duel. So very useful card to get over certain annoying cards. I love him. One of my favorite Gravekeepers. Next, I run 2 Gravekeepers Nobleman, or Apostle, as it's called in the OCG. You may say, well, why the heck are you even running this card? This card's so slow. Honestly, this card really helped me out in a whole bunch of different situations. It helped me get Spy out. It could help me get Visionary out. It even could help me get Guard out. Then I could normally summon a Descendant, flip the Spy, bounce a monster back, normal summon a Descendant, pop this card, and blow something else up. So it really helped me out in a whole bunch of different situations. You may think only running 1 is all you need to, but honestly, after testing this deck out a whole bunch of times and going through the tournament, I'd still keep it at 2. Very, very good card. Next up, I won 1 Gravekeeper's Guard. It can be searched out by Gravekeeper's Nobleman. It's just a very versatile card. It has a 22 defense when Necro Valley is out in the field. It's a walking compulsory evacuation device. Very useful card. You can flip this up, normal summon a Descendant, and then pop this card. So it comes in handy a lot. This guy I'm testing out. He didn't win me about 1 or 2 games when I was going against heavy back row, and I just was going for game. Gravekeeper's Heretic. This guy came in handy. He's the one card in the deck that I'm going back and forth. I'm trying other things out, but he's the one card that right now I'm just testing out. He's going to stay in there. He comes in handy against back row heavy decks and things of that nature, but very useful card. Like always, I do want one Gravekeeper's Visionary. He can be searched out through Gravekeeper's Nobleman. So he can bring him out with Gravekeeper's Nobleman, put this guy in defense mode, flip him up, and he still will have big attack. Very useful card. Can become a very big beat stick. I always won one of him because he just is so good. You may want to run the Sway, that new boss monster Gravekeeper's got, but this guy's honestly a little bit better because you don't only have to tribute one monster and he can have huge attack and he has built-in protection and all those nice things. So I just run one Gravekeeper's Visionary. Just my little teching card I like running it. It comes in handy and it wins me games a whole bunch of times. Next up, 3 Necro Valley. Wouldn't leave home without it. Great, great, great card. Shuts down so many decks. Next up, I run 2 Gravekeeper Stele. Gravekeeper Stele, you can get your spies back, your commandants back, your descendants back. There's a whole bunch of things you can get back with Gravekeeper Stele. Next up, 2 Pod Duality, because sometimes I do exceed with this deck, so that's why I just keep it at 2. Very, very good card in this deck. Because I do go into exceed sometimes, like Master Key Beetle or things of that nature. Next up, 2 MSTs, just to deal with pesky back row. That 1 Royal Tribute, which is won me actually 2 to 3 games this tournament, actually. Very, very good card. I think many people know that. Dark Hole, Book of Moon, 2 very good staples. Book of Moon, a yes, because you can flip down your spy. I did that about once or twice today. Well, when I did the tournament. Dark Hole, just a good generic card. For my traps, 2 Mirror Force, very good card. And 2 Imperial Tombs of the Necro Valley. Now, you may be saying to yourself, Seto, my man, why the heck are you running 2? This card is so OP. This card is so OP. You need to be running 3 of this card. I know. First off, money had a factor in doing it, but after extensive play testing, I found out that I could use Gravekeeper's Heretic a little bit more. It became a little bit more versatile. I was pretty much that Gravekeeper's Heretic card I showed you earlier was going to be the 3rd Imperial Tomb of the Necro Valley, but after proxying in and just testing it out, I found out that 2 of these is all you need. And you may be saying to yourself, why? It's not like Infernity Barrier, where you can activate multiple times a turn. This guy can only be activated once per turn. It's a trap card. It comes in handy. Don't get me wrong. It's a great, great card, but I run it one more of 2. Pretty much the reason is, as I'll say right now, is too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. So I had times when I was proxying in a 3rd one, it just got stuck in my hand and it was useless. I would open up a whole hand of just trap cards and spell cards and no monsters, and I was just sitting there, with just trap cards in the backfield. So that's why I only run 2 of it. It's a great card, though. Don't get me wrong. 2 Fiendish Chain, put in a whole bunch of work. Bottomless Trap Hole, Compulsory Evacuation Device. Torrential Tribune, works very well in this deck. You can set Recruiter, activate Torrential Tribune, and get a plus off it. And plus you're clearing the board too. And finally, 1 Rite of Spirit. It's pretty much Monster Reborn for Gravekeepers. I've always bounced back between running 1 or 2 of this card, but for right now, I'm just going to run 1 of them. Works very well. You can bring back any Gravekeeper monster you need to. On to the extra deck. Now, I did update the extra deck because I got this guy now, so yeah. So 101 Silent Arc Honors Knight comes in handy. I didn't go into this in the tournament because I didn't have this card at the time, but I run it now in the extra deck. Once number 66 Master Key Beetle. Went into this guy. This card was actually the card I went into the most in the tournament, actually, in the extra deck. Photon Papilloperative comes in handy. Abyss Dweller. Went into this against Mermails once. Won me the game. I got a Cowboy. Once went into game with that. Maestro. Black Ship. Went into this against actually Blue Eyes, I think, a Blue Eyes build and a Dragon Ruler type deck, I think it was. But this guy won me those matches. Diamond Direwolf. Wind up Zenmayo so I can flip back down my Spy and get more pluses off it. Went into it about twice in the entire match. Well, games. Utopia, I just like a beat stick. Just in case, because I got the room, number 69 Heraldic Crest and number 101 Masquerade. Won me a game though because of his effect. Level 3s, I got Wind Up Zenmine and Tempo, the Percussion Daijin. That's for the extra deck. For the side deck, always keep in mind whenever I do side decks is it's player preference. So I knew where I kind of was going to go against in the tournament. 2 Mind Crushes. Works against a whole bunch of different decks out there. Won me that one game in that Exodia matchup, but it can win you games and it helps you out so much. 2 Systems Down against Machina decks. I did face 2 Cyber Dragon decks, and I put these in game 2, and it won me the match both times. And I ran into my own gadget deck, so it came in handy there. 2 Deck Devies, so if I was going against Mermails, I could side these guy in. Don't forget with Necro Valley, all your Gravekeepers become 2,000 and this card becomes live, so it comes in handy. 2 Max C's came in handy. I did not like Boojin, so I put in a whole bunch of Boojin hate, guys. 2 Smashing Grounds works well against Boojins. I only have one, so that's the reason I'm only running one. 1 Light and Prisian Mirror comes in handy. 1 extra MST. Soul Drain, yes, it kind of affects the deck, but it comes in handy. 1 DNA Surgery came in handy. And 1 Gravekeeper Shaman came in handy. And that is the deck, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. So, guys, I hope you all enjoyed my Gravekeeper deck profile. Like I said before, Gravekeepers are by far my #1 favorite deck of all time. They've pretty much always been my #1 favorite deck, and they will probably continue to be my #1 favorite deck of all time. But if you guys are wondering why I don't run the 3 Gravekeepers Tomb, the Necro Valley, like I said earlier, if it said you could activate more than one of these cards per turn, I would have put 3 in there for sure. But I found that I got a little cloggy. Player preference played a part in it. Play testing became a part of it. I may eventually add 3 if that new rule changes come to the TCG stating that both players can have a field spell. I may add 3 in there later on, but for right now I'm just going to play 2. Just player preference there, guys. But I hope you guys all enjoyed my Gravekeeper profile, and until next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, go GKs, and I'll see you guys next time. Seto Kaiba, I'm out of here, guys.